Hey.
My name's Tom Holmes, and again, this is my version of a P-26 Boeing Peashooter, and I'm a real fanatic for profile airplanes, so I kind of wanted to make this one a big profile airplane. Of course, we had to make the fuselage a little bit thicker than an inch, so we could mount the tank and the electronics and so forth in it. All because we have a 5-cylinder OS radial engine on it. This is the OS FR5 300. It's a 5-cylinder radial, and this is what powers the plane. And we're using an APC prop on it, and it's a 20 x 8-inch pitch, and it flies the plane really well. Everything here has been scratch built on the airplane. The cowling I formed this cowling in the bottom of a cat litter bucket. That's how I got my shape. And then I absolutely had to make another mold to make the exhaust scoops on it and fiberglass them on. And then when I got through putting it all together, I painted it. It's mounted to the engine with brackets, so it's a little bit flexible and gives you a little bit of leeway. In case you bump it, you can straighten it back out without breaking it. Spinner nut, I made it home on my lathe, so it kind of goes with the type of plane that it was. Landing gear is just a 1/8-inch aluminum landing gear with braces in it, and of course the balloon tires. All the fuselage is balsa wood, wings are balsa wood, covered with ultra coat, and of course I made the windshield, I made everything that goes with it. And this is my special pilot that loves to fly this plane. As you can see, the blue shirt with the polka dots and the cigar. All my pilots like to have that cigar and that blue and yellow polka dot shirt. To get into this, you just release this hatch latch right here. This comes open, and then you can get inside the plane to the electronics. It's really easy to do. The wings attach with wing tubes. They just slide on, slide off, and they have pins that go through, and you drop pins down the inside, and that's what locks it in. There's no screws whatsoever that hold the wings on. It's just a little aluminum tubes with pins inside that hold it on. And then of course, coming back on the fuselage, I have my replica of the Peashooter, which is a Tasmanian devil with a bag of peas and a pea shooter. Coming back towards the tail, we used a black and white checker just to make it a little different. This looks kind of good with it. And of course I've got the Indian chiefs on it, which normally go on up back of the pilot on the P-26, which I have 2 up there, but this is my version of the Indian chiefs, and that's kind of what I like to have on it. And so I made sure I had plenty of rudder and plenty of elevator on this plane, because it's a real aerobatic airplane, and it'll do real aerobatics like a real plane. It's slow, but it does real nice long, even aerobatics.
Okay.
As you can see now, I'm showing you the bottom of the airplane so you can get an idea of the pattern scheme that's been used here. The checkerboard is all on the whole bottom of the wings, and stabilizer, elevator to go with the rudder, which will give you a good idea if the plane's inverted or if it's right side up. Believe me, there's no doubt you can absolutely tell which side is up on this plane. So now you have a good look at where the servos mount and how everything mounts on the ailerons. Here are small ailerons. That's all you need. You don't need a whole lot with this plane because it's nice and slow and easy.
Okay.
Okay, here again. My name's Tommy Holmes, Titusville, Florida. And this is another one of my planes. This is my version of a 1913 to 1915 Eindecker. It's totally my version of it. It's semi look-alike, but a little bit different because I have two pilots in it and two machine guns, and have a little horn on it, you know, which turns into a siren, so when he's in a dive it'll do screams and it'll act like, you know, it's a lot more violent than it is. Okay, now up front here we have the two pilots. I have a lady pilot in the front. Of course, she won't go off anywhere without her polka dots on either, and she's got to have her fingernails painted red. And also we have the old-time spikes on top of the helmets. I made these spikes myself. Everything here again is scratch made, and these were turned on my lathe, and the machine guns were bought as a kit, and I put them together, which also have the bullets with flexible little leather holders for the shells. Okay, also on this plane we're running a OS 5-cylinder radial. This is the FR5 300, and it's also running a 28 prop on it with a spinner nut that I made myself, which has the iron cross in it, and trying to be as German as I can. Okay, the motor runs excellent and the plane flies excellent. It's not a real super duper aerobatic airplane because it has a flat wing, but the plane flies really well, and it's basically a plane that flies similar to the real airplane. Hopefully it flies a little better than the real airplane. I added these flares on the landing gear just for my own benefit. I enjoy this, the way it looks, and plus I have the vintage wheels and the 1/4-inch axles I had to make because the other axles wasn't quite strong enough and didn't hold up. Okay, actually the plane is decorated to my liking. I'm a kind of a fanatic on stickers. I love stickers, and so I had to put these on with the scarves and the detail of the cockpit with the gauges and so forth. Try to make it look as authentic as I can, but yet we know it's not scale. But I like to have things on it like the name of the plane. You know, it's called Mein Lieber, which means my love, and of course that would be his love, and I guess maybe that's her right there, and she is the machine gunner in the plane. So in the back here you can see we have a heart with a dagger through it with a rose, and we got bullet holes on the plane where he got shot up into combat. And of course we have the bouquet of roses here, and we don't want to forget the iron cross back here with Devil Lady. That's the little lady that's supposed to be angel by day and devil by night. So that kind of was my own design. I kind of like that myself. And with the, all right, now you can see the scheme of the airplane on the bottom. This is again is to be able to tell top from bottom when you're up high. You can see there'd be no mistake. I have the red and white stripes, or red and black stripes on the bottom, and the yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. I seem to see that better. And of course you can see we have the servos mounted here and the ailerons, which are a little bit larger than my Peashooter. And this gives you a good idea of what the bottom of the plane looks like.
Okay.
Okay, I do also fly little planes that are a little bit faster than the Eindecker and the Peashooter. This is a little speed plane that I've made. It has a new engine that Dub Jet made for me. This is a 60 size jet engine, and I'm running a 9.9 APC prop on it. The plane is real small and light, probably weighs less than 3 pounds, but of course the engine is all the weight on the whole plane, and running a bladder tank. Alright, I used to fly, which I still do, control line all the time, and now I've kind of graduated from control line pulse jets to radio controlled dub jets. So this is a dub jet radio control speed plane, which I made the dolly for. I'm in progress of making everything fit up and run, which the plane will take off on this dolly, and when it takes off, it'll lift off the dolly and fly, which you can see here again, the bottom of the plane, to tell if it's right side up or what it's doing. At least it'll help. And then the dolly just goes on its own, then you go pick the dolly up later. But that's what flies this plane.
Okay.